I'm meteorologist Monica Woods with a look at our regional headlines and what has been very active weather throughout northern and central California. Breaking it down into regions. For the coast, we'll continue to see some morning fog cooling underway for the valley. For the foothills, we're dealing with hazy skies, and in the Sierra, our thunderstorms are not done yet. In fact, we're going to continue to track the potential of more lightning sparked fires. Speaking of lightning, over 5,000 strikes happening earlier this week, Tuesday through Wednesday, cloud to ground. You can see the multiple lightning strikes, and with that, unfortunately, we were dealing with lightning sparked fires, some of which really caused quite a lot of devastation. Looking at our significant fire potential, it's going to start to shift more to the north, almost near the California-Oregon border, as that risk of isolated dry lightning also starts to shift more to the north. But still something to watch throughout the entire Sierra heading into our Thursday. Still a chance of thunderstorms right down the Sierra spine and through northern California. That will continue into our Friday outlook before we start to see a bit of a pattern shift, which will reduce the risk of those thunderstorms throughout this year and also bring down our temperatures in the valley. Meantime, for the foothills, we talked about the hazy skies. Look at this: Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, and Fresno County. Very hazy skies, and this is due to fires. As you can see, big smoke plumes right here blanketing the mother lode, particularly through the foothills, where we have some of the most active fires burning right now. The Garnet fire, well, that's been burning actively for about the past week or so, and unfortunately, that still is a problem fire throughout California. Here's a look at the rundown, and you can see all the little fires right here throughout the state. We've had so far over 6,500 fires burning, over 425,000 acres, over 16,000 structures destroyed, 31 fatalities. If you remember, back in early January, we got off to a very early fire year with the devastating fires in Southern California. So all of that goes into the statistics, so we continue to track. Here's a look at the rundown comparatively. It's pretty close to where we were last year at this point, a little bit behind the 5-year average of total acres burned. And deployment has been pretty quick, I will say that. Anytime there's been a fire, there's been multiple resources that have been deployed to those fires to try to get them under control as quickly as possible. It's all about the weather pattern, though. If we had really fierce winds, it's just really difficult to put people on those fire lines. Ours have been lightning sparked, and unfortunately, the pattern continues through our Thursday to see a slight potential of that occurring once again. Now, by Friday into Saturday, we start to see a bit of a shift. More clouds in the valley, more onshore flow, lots of fog along the coast. And again, we'll get a touch of that cool Bay air coming in for the weekend. But we got Thursday and Friday to get through for those thunderstorms in the Sierra. Highs will be close to 80 for the high country. We're in the 80s and 90s down low, with a high right around 80 to 85 degrees towards Yosemite. Inland areas still right around 100 the farther away we get from some of that marine cooled air. 60s and 70s along the central coast. Inland areas, again, makes it a little bit tough to get over some of those ranges, especially with the elevation change. If we have an open access like the Delta region in the northern part of the bay, we can see how that onshore flow really starts to cool our inland temperatures into the 80s. Along the northwest coast, we're going to have 60s. As we head inland a little bit farther to the east, we're still close to 100. And again, we will see a little touch of that cooler air moving through the capital region, with highs closer to about 90 to 95 degrees. That risk of thunderstorms continues into our Friday, reappearing next week, but we get a break over the weekend with some cooler weather on tap as well. As you can see, our highs in the valley cooling into the 80s, and that's largely where we stay into next week.